It goes like, ooh, moo, that.
Hello, this is Joey from Two Blokes from Blighty, and before we get into today's episode, we're going to hear from our good friend and previous guest of the podcast, Robotic Battle Toaster.
Take it away.
Take it away, Toast.
Greetings! My name is Robotic Battle Toaster. I'm a variety game streamer on Twitch. There, I play a range of both multiplayer and single-player games. You can also find me on Twitter and in my Discord server, where you can vote what games I play. And, of course, join in on the fun and back-and-forth banter in a relaxed and safe environment. I hope to see you there. So, without any further ado, let's get back to Chat Tsunami. Ta-ta!
I thought at the end of that.
Maybe I'll put the end of that. Maybe I'll just leave it in. Who knows?
Who knows? Go listen to Chat Tsunami as well.
Yeah,
2 adverts.
Double advert. Do you want to do? Here you go. Here's Chat Tsunami's advert.
Welcome to Chat Tsunami, a variety podcast that discusses topics from gaming and films to anime and general interests.
Previously on Chat Tsunami, we've analysed what makes a good horror game, conducted a retrospective on Pierce Brosnan's run as James Bond, and listened to us take deep dives into both the Sonic and Halo franchises.
Also, if you're an anime fan, then don't forget to check us out on our sub-series, Chat Tsunami, where we dive into the world of anime. So far, we've reviewed things like Death Note, Princess Mononoke, and the hit Beyblade series.
If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and all good podcast apps.
As always, stay safe,
stay awesome, and most importantly,
stay hydrated.
There you go. 2 for the price of 1. Do you want any more adverts in there, Tim?
Throw in a casting views.
Yeah, let's do casting views.
God, you're all so lucky for the adverts.
Fancy taking a humorous trip down a random topic each week? You do? Well, you're in luck. Casting Views, presented by me, Dan, and a host of guests, bring you just that. With topics from the world of entertainment, science, sport, and everyday life, there's bound to be a topic that's going to inform and amuse. Catch Casting Views every Sunday on all listening platforms now.
This is like a masterclass on how to pad the runtime, Tim. Yeah, Battle Toaster, Chat Tsunami, casting views in no particular order, but make sure you check all 3 of them out. They're all excellent, and all members of the Pod Pack Collective.
Big up the Pod Pack. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. This is Tim at Wembembo on everything, and I'm joined by my brother, Fit.
So we started today's episode with 4 adverts now, Tim.
Joey, how you doing?
I'm all right. I'm quite tired today. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the thought of missing you after this week.
Oh, I'll be back in a couple weeks.
It's not. I just didn't sleep very well.
Oh, me either.
Well, that's because you've been sucking on the hose pipe of COVID. So
it's not COVID.
Tim's got COVID, and he's going to spread it to Japan.
I've not got COVID. It's my sinuses are on fire because of the fucking AC in our office building. It's my allergy.
My allergy.
No, my sinus has just been on fire all day and since last night. So I think it's just that's just kept me up. But
I can't taste or smell anything either. It's really
I keep
weird.
Coughing, and Payne's getting a cough too. No, none of that. I've taken a COVID test. It's negative. We're fine.
I stuck a COVID test down my throat, and it told me I'm pregnant. Weird. Hey, Tim, we always start these episodes in the same way. Let's do a pub quiz question.
Yeah. Pub quiz question of the week. Not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
Pub quiz of the week. I'm going to ask Joey several questions until he can't get an answer, and then that's our question of the week. Joey, what is the largest species of penguin known for its distinct yellow crest on its head?
King penguin.
Not a king penguin.
Emperor penguin.
There you go. What's the largest species of shark known for its enormous size and filter feeding behavior?
Oh, the basking shark.
No.
Whale shark?
Correct, whale shark. What African mammal is known as the king of the jungle?
The lion.
Yeah. What's the world's smallest mammal, often confused for a large bumblebee?
Oh, I don't know.
Want to come back to that one?
No. Often confused for a large bumblebee.
Yeah, but
So
it's the
it's
smallest
yellow.
mammal.
So it's black and yellow.
Assumingly, yeah. I've not seen a picture of this thing. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh. Well, then, if you've never seen a picture, then I have no idea.
But
Is it
this
Wiz Khalifa because he's black and yellow?
It's not Wiz Khalifa, but I'm looking at a picture of it. They are sometimes black and sometimes yellow.
No. No idea.
All right, well, we'll come back to that at the
Is
end.
it a
of the episode.
marmoset?
It's not a marmoset. Think smaller.
Obviously, because a marmoset is a mammal and this is the smallest mammal.
How big are marmosets?
I don't know.
Alexa.
Tiny, is it a tiny marmoset?
No, it's not a baby marmoset.
Then I have no idea then, Tim.
We'll come back to the end of the episode then.
Well, come back to the end of the episode where Tim will tell me the name of an animal I've likely never heard of.
I didn't hear of it until I read the question.
Well, there you go, folks. These are how these quizzes have devolved. Tim, this episode goes out. Oh, you will have been in Japan for a whole week, right?
Thereabouts, yeah.
The 26th of February.
Yeah.
We're recording on the 18th, but what day is the 26th? What day of the week?
I think is a Wednesday?
Tim and Joey talking loud. Holidays that make them proud. Calendar check every week. Which day holds the peak? Valentine's is on a visit. Christmas Eve sometimes hits it. New Year's Eve can be found smiling on a Wednesday round. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week up fair.
So
What
it
a
is
jingle.
Wednesday, my dude. You've heard the best jingle in all of podcasting. Tim, before we get into the calendar days, I recorded most of last week's episode with a microphone that was blowing the shit out of my audio. So I'd like to first and foremost apologize for the listener. Tim, is it better quality now?
It sounds dreamy.
Do you feel like I could read you an audiobook and you would be able to go to sleep?
Maybe.
What audiobook would you like me to read?
I would like you to read The Old Man and the Sea.
I know The Old Man and the Sea.
Yeah.
How old is the old man?
At least 16. I had a conversation with some I say some people at work, the people on my team, and it really showed my age because I was like, we were talking about our first phone, and I was like, I can remember when I got my first polyphonic ringtone, and they were like, what does that mean? I was like, they used to be monophonic. I was like, what's monophonic? And they were like, what's monophonic? I don't know how many of our audience remember monophonic ringtones, but bro, I was taken back. Have fun syncing
Tim.
that one up.
He was an old man who fished alone in the skiff in the Gulf Stream. And he had gone 84 days now without taking a fish. In the first 40 days, a boy had been with him. But after 40 days without a fish, the boy's parents had told him that the old man was... I'm not doing the old fucking man in the sea.
That's our day of the week, everyone.
Is it Old Man in the Sea Day? Tim, 4 days for you. Let's reel them off. National Pistachio Day.
I like pistachios.
National Tell a Fairy Tale Day.
Sure. Yeah. Bit of whimsy in the world.
National Set a Good Example Day.
That's a good one.
Fucking dweeb. National Letter to the Elderly Day.
No.
No? You want to write an old person a letter?
No.
No.
I feel like they might call me a whippersnapper and insult my generation.
You goddamn whippersnapper.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Set a Good Example Day. Teach someone to do something that you are good at and lead by example.
What would you teach?
I would say fighting games, but I'm not very good at them.
I hard disagree.
I would like to teach someone how to build a basic page in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
There you go. That would be
Done.
setting a good example.
Yeah.
I would teach someone how to mask crying alone at night so that none of your neighbours hear you.
The trick is to play loud whale songs.
I once played when I was at university. I don't remember why I did it really, but I remember in the middle of the night using my very loud speakers. It must have been about 2 a.m,
Mm.
and I was talking to a friend on Xbox Live, and my neighbours had been really loud the night before, and I knew they were hungover. And my friend on Xbox said, "Why don't you play them some soothing music to make sure they sleep?" And I went, "I've got better." And I played Whale Song, and it was so loud it shook my room.
Jesus
and my
Christ.
neighbours were pissed.
I can imagine.
Have you ever heard Whale Song?
Yeah, it's very bassy.
Have you ever heard it with the very high pitched bits?
Yeah.
Can you sing it to me?
It goes like, ooh, moo. That.
That was beautiful. That's really
Thank you.
good. You're a great whale, Tim.
Thank you. I'm the right size. Have you ever heard that audio anomaly that happened in the ocean once called the bloop?
No.
So I bring this up because I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about like what they're more scared of, sea or space, and the majority of the people on the podcast were like, "I'm more scared of the sea."
Okay.
And they got to talking about this thing that happened called the bloop. It was a sound that was just so deafening, and it's only been recorded once, and it is literally as it sounds, just a bloop, just somewhere in the water. We don't know what caused it. Terrifying.
I think it was a jellyfish farting.
Could be.
Mm.
Could
Tim,
be.
we're going to go on to one of our regular sections, but one of our not so regular sections.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll leave you a little guess what you think it is while I play the jingle.
The travel agent.
Men are up from the back. El Mahani right foot. Whips it. Oh, jeez, beeps, man.
Now Sam Maxima might have a chance to run and does. Can he play a colleague through? It's Jacob Murphy. Released. Murphy 1-on-1. Jacob Murphy to win it. Oh, it's a volley in the net! Oh, O'Connell's mistake. McGinn.
And of course, I love this game!
Tim, I love this game, but do you know who doesn't love this game?
Who?
An Italian man named Juan Bernabe.
Okay. Why doesn't he love this
Juan.
game?
So Juan Bernabe has been employed by the Italian club Lazio for 23 years. No, that's wrong. 13 years. Okay?
Right.
Until the 14th of January this year. Now, Juan Bernabe does not play. He's not a footballer. He's not a coach. He's not a steward. He doesn't work on the board. He doesn't own the club. He has a very unique job at the club Lazio, or had a unique job.
Right.
He is the club's eagle handler. Was
I'm
the club's
listening.
eagle handler. Now,
Okay.
bald eagles, big fucking birds, right?
Big birds.
Flying around a stadium at the start of a game, something of an atmosphere, quite loud, could spook a bird. Why do you think that Mr. Bernabe was fired from Lazio on the 14th of January this year?
It's going to be like he trained it to 6 Spanish fans or something, isn't it?
No, it's nothing to do with an eagle. It's just funny that he is the eagle handler.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Bernabe shared a picture on Instagram of a very explicit picture of his own penis enlargement surgery. There are pictures. If you search Lazio eagle handler, before you get anything about the football club Lazio, you get a picture of Juan Bernabe sat on a hospital bed with his stitched together prosthetic penis.
Brilliant.
And since then, he has been in the news a few times. So being at the club for 13 years, you would guess that Mr. Bernabe I keep calling him Mr. Bernabeu because I don't know if it's Juan or Juan.
I would assume.
So you think Juan?
Hmm.
So Juan's quite familiar with the club. He knows a lot of the people there. He knows a lot of the staff there. He also often went and visited their training ground. And after he was fired, the way that he tried to get in touch with the owner to get his job back was to barricade himself inside of the training ground, meaning the first team players couldn't train, and there was a man with quite a sore prosthetic penis
and an eagle
protesting to get his job back. I don't think he took Olympia the Eagle with him.
I would. But like, how else are they going to handle him?
Well, I don't know. But the latest development is this week. He has said that he's going to take the owner of Lazio to court, and sue him over wrongful termination. Lazio are a funny club, though, Tim. They've got a bit of a reputation of being quite right wing.
How can a club be right wing?
Well, I think
it
was
in the
his
admin,
son. Mussolini's son played for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's basically, well, clubs can be right and left wing. The fan base, the ultras, they would call them, often swing that kind of political leaning. So there you go. If you want another one about the ultras, there's a club in Lisbon called Sporting.
Club Sporting.
Well, I can't remember their full official name. A lot of people call them Sporting Lisbon, but apparently that's wrong. It's like the club in the city of Bruges is spelt Club Bruges, but actually the locals call it Club Brugge. And apparently they get very annoyed if you say Club Bruges.
Huh.
But Sporting Lisbon, or what people out of the know would call Sporting Lisbon, had a really bad season probably 4 or 5 years ago, and the ultras raided the training ground while the first team were there and beat the shit out of a number of the players. 9 out of the 11 players who started the last match for them immediately went and terminated their contracts. There you go. That was I Love This Game. Juan Bernabeu's prosthetic penis. I did listen to a thing where they made a joke of the reason that he wanted to extend his penis was so that the falcon had something to perch on. But I wasn't going to stoop that low. But you didn't laugh during my thing, so I thought I'd give it you anyway.
I like it.
There you go. You a fan of Bernabeu?
I'm going to go with he's a polarizing figure.
I mean, he's got some questionable views that we didn't, emphasis on the poll. We didn't get into. So, well done for not falling in that trap.
Thank you,
Tim. I would like to do some history.
Oh, we're doing history, all right.
And in true history fashion,
lost the fucking jingle.
Where the fuck is the jingle? Seriously, I don't understand this soundboard. I think there might just be too much on it.
Maybe we could probably do with a clear out of it.
Maybe. Is Payne okay, Tim?
Yeah, Payne, what are you looking for? What did you get? I didn't know we had to book that, so we could just rock up. Okay.
This is why Payne is organising Tim's holiday.
Yeah.
What's she booking?
Roppongi Hills. It's like a big old view of Tokyo.
Oh, nice. There you go.
I didn't think you had to book it.
Did you do any research to check that?
I've looked at pictures of the building.
So, did you do any research to check whether you need to pre-book?
Does that not count?
What do you think?
I know what the building looks like.
Right, we're going into history.
History.
Payne's featuring in this episode, by the way, now.
That's fine. That's fine. I thought instead of talking about something from the 1800s or in Connecticut or the 1700s, I thought I'd talk about something that's happening right now.
Is that history?
It's history. Because we start, our story starts in 1856, but it's ongoing.
The birth of Donald Trump.
Sure. Centralia, Pennsylvania is founded as a coal mining town, and the land is owned by the Locust Mountain Coal and Iron Company.
Mm-hmm.
The town founder, Alex Ray, is murdered by the secretive Holly Maguires, an Irish violent labour group that were heavily involved in the coal mining rackets.
I think I know this.
Oh, yeah?
Is this the town that's constantly on fire?
It is the town that's constantly on fire.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating because there are so many baffling decisions throughout this town's history. So in 1962, the town, a coal fire begins in one of the mines, and town officials start a controlled burn in a landfill above a coal mine, not realizing the risk, and the whole coal mine catches fire. Great start. Firefighters respond in late May 1962, but they're working in really short shifts while the fire smolders between efforts. It's noted that their shifts were 9 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Right. So between 5 and 9 and the weekends,
the fire just picked back up.
Just do what you want, really, fire.
Yeah. June 1962, the fire seeps into more underground coal veins. Instead of launching a full-scale response, officials adopt a wait-and-see approach.
I like it.
In August 1862, geologists finally arrive and confirm the fire has already spread too deep to be easily stopped.
Okay.
In September 1962, I've done this very bullet pointy because it's not one coherent story, it's lots of little ones.
Fine.
In September, the fire had already been burning for about 4 months, and at this point, government officials and contractors were still debating on how to handle it, and it would and the work that it would take to kind of stop the fire was moving painfully slow. Reports indicate that the work crews not only took breaks between their 9 to 5 Monday through Friday shifts, but also over the Labor Day weekend.
Okay. But it's been going for 4 months at that point, right?
It has, but it's a fire.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
The pause over the 4-day weekend allowed the fire to spread even deeper into the coal veins, and it was noted that the situation was now much worse than before. By the time they resumed their efforts, the fire had advanced to the point that it was beyond the reach of the initial containment plans. So, in 1863, they dug a trench to block the fire. The trench ran out of money, so they stopped, and the fire just went around the trench.
Okay, very clever, yeah.
Yep. 1969.
Very clever fire, I would say.
It was, yeah, like weirdly, like just adaptive. On that note of it being weirdly adaptive, in 1969 there were attempts to smother the fire. So it's already been going for 7 years, this fire. There were attempts to smother the fire with clay and water, and both of these failed, and officials argued about what to do next. But they decided to do nothing, hoping that the fire would sort itself out. Now, it's... Yep.
Was there people living there at this point?
Yes. It was a full town.
Okay.
There were many issues with the clay attempts, by the way, and the clay is particularly of note. The idea was that obviously
they used
clay,
flammable clay, right?
Yeah, it was like a big kiln. So the idea was that with clay, it can be essentially smoothed and sealed to create a seal for the fire, depriving it of oxygen.
Nice,
makes sense.
Your clay.
Can I smooth your clay? But the problem was that they didn't pack the clay properly, both in transportation and in setting the thing. So it was just really loosely packed, leaving pockets of oxygen. And when the clay, which also hadn't been like prepared correctly, just basically melted, these pockets of oxygen were just released into the fire, creating small clay explosions.
Okay, that sounds really sensible.
It sounds sensible, but then the clay began to dry out and shrink, creating even more gaps, thus feeding the fire and making the fire spread quicker. On top of that, the clay was too thin in places, which caused like potholes and sinkholes and gaps in the clay. And the fire just started to like break through weak points of the clay because it was just that hot. And eventually the clay got too hot to the point that it was like just brittle and useless. It was completely dumb, this idea. Some reports even suggested that instead of stopping the fire, the heat and the chemical reactions in the clay actually made the problem significantly worse. Now, in 1979, this is to give you an idea of a bit of a scale of things here. Gas station owner John Coddington noticed his underground fuel tanks, because they monitor the underground fuel tanks for like petrol stations and stuff, they were running a little hot. 77 degrees Celsius hot, which is 170 degrees Fahrenheit for for our American listeners. And officials ignored the warnings until they were basically forced to investigate. We're going to jump forward to 1981. So the fire has been going for 19 years at this point. And
1981.
1981.
What year did it start?
1962.
Oh, okay, cool. Fair enough.
On Valentine's Day, a group of government officials were sent to Centralia to inspect the fire's impact and what it's done. And the town had been dealing with carbon monoxide leaks because of trapped underground gases.
Yeah.
The ground was collapsing in areas, and increasing concerns were happening throughout the town. Essentially, the whole area was becoming unsafe. 12-year-old Todd Domboski was playing outside, and right in front of inspectors, the ground gave away beneath him, opening up to a 150-foot sinkhole that was full of deadly gas and fire.
Fucking hell. Like
was
hell opening.
Well, this is it. Witnesses described it as like looking into a portal into hell. And Todd was thankfully grabbed onto a hold of a tree root that was nearby, which stopped him falling to his death because the levels of carbon monoxide down there would have been lethal. And his cousin Eric Wolfgang pulled him to safety just in time. But the thing is, the government were very much downplaying the situation in Centralia at this point, until a child nearly died in front of them, falling into a hole that was full of hell, full of carbon monoxide and fire. So soon after this, the federal government began pushing for a full-scale evacuation, and in 1983, so about a year later, scientists confirmed that the levels of carbon monoxide throughout the town are lethal. So they need to evacuate, and the evacuations begin. In 1984, the US government approved a $42 million relocation program. Some residents accepted buyouts, and others refused. Just not wanting to leave.
Surely no one's still there.
We'll get to that. In 1992, Pennsylvania, the state, condemned Centralia and using eminent domain to force the residents out. But the last holdouts in 1993, sued the state for the right to stay in their homes. All this while the ground beneath them is on fire.
And opening up, I assume.
Yes. This lawsuit went on for 9 years. And
Jesus.
In 2002, the US Postal Service revoked Centralia's zip code. Just revoked it, effectively removing it from official maps.
Okay, fair enough.
Sure. Later that year, Japanese developers from Konami used the town as an inspiration for Silent Hill.
This is where I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was noted that the game's kind of eerie, ash-covered town and the misty streets were like the big inspiration for the Silent Hill series, which is kind of neat. In 2009, a Polish tourist got lost in Centralia as a Silent Hill fan, and he was reported missing, and he was only found days later wandering in the town. And he had difficulty explaining where he'd been, leading to speculation that he had been massively impacted by a sudden change in carbon monoxide levels from underground gas leaks.
Or he'd been chased by a man with a big triangular metal helmet.
Low poly man, that's what they call him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
To this day, the full account of what has happened to this Polish tourist, whose name hasn't been released, the account has never been officially made public. So
Brian Polish tourist.
Brian Poland, that's him.
Yeah, Dave Poland.
Yeah. In 2013, this lawsuit that's been going on, the Pennsylvania government agrees to let the 8 remaining residents stay until they die.
Wow.
And that was on the basis of, as soon as they die, their homes are to be demolished.
Why?
Don't know.
Just as a dick move.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fuck you. As of 2020, 5 people remain in Centralia.
Wow.
Now, that's kind of like the start and end of the main Centralia story, but I found a whole bunch of just like extra weird stuff. So I thought I'd just, sprinkle this in as a bit of fun flavoring. There's a rumor that Centralia is cursed.
I wonder why.
Locals believe that Centralia was cursed by Father Daniel Ignatius de McDermott, the first priest of the St.
Ignatius.
Ignatius.
That's, cause for a fire.
Yeah, it's very close to Ignitus.
Exactly.
He was the first priest of the St. Ignatius Church in the 1860s, and the story goes that after Alexander Ray, the founder of the town, was murdered by the Molly Maguires, McDermott reportedly put a curse on the town, saying it would one day be destroyed, and fast forward a century and a half later, and the whole place is basically unlivable.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Despite Centralia being mostly abandoned, its cemeteries are surprisingly perfectly maintained.
Full of people. Weird.
Full of people. Well, there are more people in there than living in the town.
Yeah,
but
okay.
The St. Ignatius cemetery, which overlooks the town, is noted to have like pristine gravestones and mausoleums. They're being cleaned.
Need something to do.
One of them does have a hobby. In the early 2000s, one of the houses disappeared overnight. One day it was there, and the next day it was just gone. No demolition records, no witnesses, no remains of a house.
Straight up gone.
Gone.
Are you sure the person who documented that wasn't like that house to my left? I'm sure it was on the right before.
It was coming from the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Back in the 1980s, after most of the town had been abandoned, a small group of remaining residents decided to celebrate Christmas community style. Some of them put up a Christmas tree in the town square as a way to keep tradition alive, but because of the underground coal fire burning just beneath the surface, heat and gases were escaping from the ground and caused the tree to catch fire by itself.
Very sad.
That is very sad. There's the graffiti highway in the 1990s.
This is cool. The graffiti highway.
It was cool. It's been buried since.
Oh.
But in the 1990s, Route 61 once had a major road through the town, which was cracked open and then abandoned essentially by heat more than anything. And over time, people covered the road with graffiti, turning it into a weird tourist attraction with things like "Welcome to Hell," "The fire still burns," and "Turn back now." But in 2020, Pennsylvania state buried the highway with dirt to stop people from visiting it.
Fair enough.
Going back to those 5 residents that still live there, one man, John Lotkish Jr., has been decorating the streets for Christmas for years, and he's kept mowing the lawns of every house he comes across, despite most of the homes no longer being there.
Big John might need to get a job.
I think I'd say he needs to go out more, but I'm just scared he might breathe in more carbon monoxide. Now, because of the way that borders work essentially between towns and what have you, coal veins don't typically give a shit about that. And it's reported that some of the buildings some of the fires have spread between further coal veins underground, including nearby town like Burnsville. that was also abandoned due to the spread of underground heat. Essentially, just neighboring towns are going to be suffering the same fate because of this one landfill fire back in the 1960s.
Burnsville was asking for it.
It was asking for it. The last fun little fact that I found here: one of the few remaining buildings that has been is still in pretty good condition in the town is St. Mary's Church in 1911. It was built in 1911. Despite the fire's smoke and heat, the church has never actually been damaged by any of it, which is interesting. Some locals think it's a miracle, others say it's luck, but that's everything I could find on Centralia.
Hey, I liked Centralia. That was a good story.
It was neat.
Very cool. Right, Tim. Thank you for the history.
Wow.
What would you like to talk about now?
What do we want to talk about?
Well, I know what I want to do, but is it what you want to do?
What is it?
I want to do some jokes.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Fantastic. Gets better every week. Tim, this is our joke of the week section as well. You know, Tim and I will tell each other bloody hilarious one-liners with the intention to make the other person laugh. Obviously, when that person laughs, that joke will be deemed our joke of the week section, joke of the week, and this section will be over. Tim, I have 10 jokes for you.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'll go first. I've got a good bunch today.
10. Sorry, I miscounted.
Oh, well, do you want to go first or do you want me
You
to
can
go
go first, it's fine.
Okay.
I felt like you built up to it.
Tim, where do bad rainbows go?
Where?
To prism. It's a light sentence, but it gives them time to reflect.
That's clever.
Thank you.
I like that. Have you heard that joke about gaslighting?
Don't tell it in Centralia.
But have you heard it?
No.
Yeah, you have.
I felt it coming.
Yeah.
Tim, the only white actors in Black Panther are Martin Freeman, who played Bilbo Baggins, and Andy Serkis, who played Gollum.
Weird.
Yeah. They're the Tolkien white guys.
Wait. What do you get when you cross a cow with an octopus?
Octopus.
You get your funding revoked and a strongly worded letter from the ethics department.
You would do. That's
You
true.
would.
Tim, for the past 25 years, I've received a Valentine's card from the same secret admirer. I was pretty sad when I didn't get one this year. First my grandma dies, now this.
An unfortunate year.
Right.
Yeah. I saw my wife drunk yelling at the TV saying, "Don't go in there, don't go in the church, you moron." Turns out she's watching the wedding video again.
Oh, it's okay, Tim.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't a terrible decision. Tim, I lost my virginity for a $5. I wish I hadn't bent over to pick it up, to be honest.
That's good.
Yeah,
That is good. Why doesn't Oedipus use foul language?
Don't know.
He kissed his mother with that mouth.
Very good. That is a good. Yeah, that's a good one. Tim, I'm hosting a meeting tonight on Zoom for people that struggle to orgasm. Can't come, let me know.
Pretty good. Good community awareness. Did you hear about the proctologist's longtime girlfriend that broke up with him?
No.
Absolutely wrecked him.
Very good. That nearly got me. That was good.
Good.
Tim, do you know what I learned today?
What's that?
Bruce Lee's brother was vegan.
Oh.
His name was Broccoli.
That is very good. That is very, very good, that one. My friend is obsessed with taking blurry showers of himself while taking a shower. He's got some serious self-esteem issues.
You said blurry showers with himself.
Oh, did I?
So it was a good joke, but the delivery was mid. Tim, why was the anti-vaxxer's 8-year-old crying?
Why?
I don't know, fucking midlife crisis.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great. What's Lizzie short for?
I don't know, because she's not that tall.
Yeah, she's got little legs.
Yeah, good. Did you hear about the Roman cannibal that hated his ex-wife?
No.
Oh, Gladiator.
Yeah. Good. What do you do if an elephant comes through your window?
Wipe it off and start again.
Swim for your life.
Good. Tim, what's the difference between Elon Musk and a lemur?
What?
Elon made an electric car. A lemur, Madagascar.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yep. Might need
I
to
only
beat
have
this
one more now, so I'm a bit worried because I said it was a good batch.
I've got 2 somehow.
Oh, okay. Well, I started, so that's why.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Fucking hell, Tim.
Told you I might need to beep it.
I will be beeping that one. It was shocking. I recently realised I have a fetish for epiphanies. I only just came to this realisation.
It's an oldie.
That's mine. I thought it was a really good batch.
I've got one last one. A cat and a dog are leading a caravan of pioneers into the old frontier. The cat was in charge of the front wagon and the dog was in charge of the tail wagon.
Oh, I really like it. I wish I laughed. That would have been a good, very cute one. Tim, what did my dog say before he kicked the bucket?
Kicked the bucket. Look how far I can kick. No, he said woof because it's a dog.
Exactly. But you still didn't laugh.
No,
the curse is broken.
The cycle is done.
Do I run the joke jingle again?
Sure. No joke this week.
We don't have a joke of the week.
No, I guess not.
Fucked it. Totally fucked it.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Well, no joke of the week, Tim. How'd you feel about
that? Saddened more than anything.
Saddened and besotted.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about, Tim?
We could just play the one that I got beeped last week for.
No, because I don't want that to ever go out on the air. Last week? That was the week before, right?
No, it was one of them.
Oh, I better check that because I haven't beeped it out in a. Did you edit it or did I?
I don't know.
I might need to check that because I've uploaded it, but I haven't beeped anything. So I will check that. Right, Tim. Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I got Japan this week.
Talked about that last week.
Yeah, and also I imagine we'll be talking about more about what happened out there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's it, Tim. I think we should leave it there. I think I should let you go and pack. And say, I hope you have a lovely trip.
Yeah, I'm going to be Instagramming everything, maybe post some TikToks. I don't know, at Wembembo and everything if you're interested.
No, you should be interested because Tim has a gimbal that he broke live on recording that.
It's fixed, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tim, I thought of one thing I really want to tell you, but it will not take very long.
Go on.
The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
That's it. No, yeah, he's back. The Elephant Man. So it's pretty famous play as well as being a biopic about a real man.
Mm-hmm.
So famous, Bradley Cooper once played him on stage.
Okay.
So Bradley Cooper. So Tim, what is the thing with the Elephant Man?
Well, he has elephantitis, so like he's essentially got like a large series of I guess bulges and protrusions on his skin. Mm-hmm. Like his body is quite heavily disfigured.
And he was shunned for his appearance, right?
Yeah.
So Bradley Cooper played the Elephant Man on stage. Bradley Cooper is a fairly attractive guy, right?
Good-looking dude.
How do you think they got him to look the way that the Elephant Man would need to look?
Oh, this is going to be bad, isn't it? I don't like where this is going.
I'm going to send you a picture of him on stage performing the Elephant Man. And the caption for this is, Bradley Cooper is almost unrecognizable as the Elephant Man. Okay?
Sure. That's not it. He's just pulling a face. He looks like he's just mid-sentence and he's balled his hand up into a fist.
He's pulling a face. He's got his mouth pulled to one side a little bit.
That's awful.
But the thing is, there's other photos of him as well, such as this one. And he looks a bit like Dennis Reynolds.
Just a bit.
It's almost quite offensive, isn't it?
It is really. I mean, have you seen that film? Is it Twinkle Toes with Gary Oldman?
No.
Gary Oldman in Twinkle Toes keep in mind, Peter Dinklage is also in this movie. Gary Oldman plays a dwarf.
I think I've seen bits of this.
Twinkle Toes. There is a bit, and is it called Twinkle Toes? Movie. Gary. Yeah, there it is. So Tiptoes. That's it.
Tiptoes.
There is a bit where, keep in mind, you never see Gary Oldman's knees or legs or anything when he's walking, because Gary Oldman is a tall dude. So this is generally what the view of, I've just sent you a photo in the Discord, of what he looks like as he's like on screen regularly. There was a point where they needed him to sit on a couch, and I think what they have done, and I'm sure you'll agree, is they've just put Gary Oldman in the couch and put a pair of PVC pipes and some jeans and some boots.
It's so convincing.
It's Peter Dinklage described it in an original press release as the blackface of dwarfism.
Yeah, I kind of see that.
I see it.
I kind of see that. Right. Well, what a way to end your 2-week hiatus on Two Blokes from Blighty, Tim.
Yeah.
Offensive blackface of elephantitis and dwarfism.
It's a bad movie, by the way, if anyone wants to watch it. It's actually, like, it's one of these films that's hilariously bad.
I mean, just watch the trailer. I think you'll get everything from it, right?
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey's entire thing is that he's going out with this girl and they're going to have a baby, and everyone in her family except her has dwarfism, and he doesn't want to have a baby with dwarfism, and he has a fucking breakdown when he enters a room full of her family.
Well, could you ask for anything more in a movie?
I don't know. I'm really glad that when we walked into the room with all the people with dwarfism, he went, all right.
Very good. Right,
Yeah.
Tim, give one person a shout out. You've got 4 seconds.
Frosty.
All right, big up Frosty. And we will see you. I'll see you in a week's time. Tim will see you in 2 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. But make sure you're following him on Instagram, because he's going to become an influencer.
I am. I've got a gimbal and everything.
Very good. Gimbal Timble.
Okay, yeah, no, that is the username. I was going to say there might be a better option, but that's pretty good.
Gimbal is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timble with a gimbal.
Yeah. All right, Timble with a gimbal. See you in 2 weeks' time, buddy.
See you in 2 weeks.
Take that, you bastards.
Take that, you bastards. Bye.
Bye.
He goes like, ooh, moo, ooh, moo. That.